We've got 9:30, we'll be ahead and get started. Jim, you're here for invocation this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Our good and gracious Father, I do thank you for you, and I thank you for your Son, Jesus, that you sent down here to die for us. Father, I thank you that you're the best God there ever was, ever will be, and the only true God. I pray, Father, that you'll continue to watch out for the United States, that you'll help our federal politicians, our state politicians, our county, our city politicians. I ask, Father, that today you'll be with supervisors, that you give them wisdom, that they think before they speak. I pray that you will control this meeting, Father, please. You're good to us, and you're good to this nation. Even though we don't deserve your grace, you still give it to us, and I thank you for that, Father. Thank you for being my God. Thank you for being the God of the United States. Thank you for being the God of the world. Thank you in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call our meeting to order. 9:31. Can I have a roll call, please?
Clifton.
Here.
Fitch. Here. Stancil. Heather.
Heather, you here? All right, perfect. Okay.
Here.
All present.
Sorry, delay.
Next is a review of the agenda. Anyone have any conflicts of interest on there? I didn't notice any.
No.
Okay. Next is approval of the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Diane. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heather. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
That was an aye, yes, correct, I'm sorry. All in favor? Motion
There you
carried.
go.
Yes, yes, that would be a good answer, Heather, thanks. All right, moving on to department head reports. Brady.
Brady's passing out his reports, Heather. Okay, thank you, Diane. Yeah, I'll put it on the desk.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
All right, so last month it was pretty busy. We had 131 calls last month.
Is that because we had so much stuff going on?
No, we had a lot not involved with that stuff. Just busy, more people out doing things. So we met with the Lyons Club. They're getting a couple new AEDs. We kind of talked about where they're wanting to put them. We looked at a couple different brands to go where, like the one down the football field. I talked about on the courthouse somewhere, and they were just kind of going up. We went over a few different brands on that. Did CPR for a member of the recorder's office. Before Ragbri come down, we had the sim trailer come down, which is funded no cost to us. It's a semi-trailer. The dummies in the trailer cost, I think they're close to $300,000 a piece. They will do everything from move, blood pressure, for training. Very good training. Had the monthly meeting with the hospital. Everything's working out pretty well with them. We did receive our like I said before, $10,000 grant from Prairie Meadows, which gives us $45,615.38 for the new power load system from all the different grants that we've received for that.
Aren't you still in the running for CPAP for some more?
Yeah, so we just been notified that we received the FEMA Go grant for another power load system. I don't exactly know how much yet. We had to accept it or deny it, and then they'll kind of give us more paperwork. And then we are still in the running for The ambulance, grant is still pending for I think it's $348,000. We're still in the running for that, so it's still pending right now. And then again, Ragbri came through, we had 2 first aid tents that were very busy, with the heat. Mainly Band-Aids, scrapes, stuff like that, nothing major. At the campground right next to us was an IV station. It was extremely busy. But we only had 4 calls related to Ragbri. Everything on our end went pretty well. Interlane, we didn't go over to Interlane at all. So on that, that's about all we have this month.
All right, super. Thanks, Brady. All right, that brings us down to the public comment section of our agenda. Anyone from the public wish to comment at this time? Anyone on the phone with public comment? All right, moving on. Ryan, you're
Hello,
up.
this is Heather.
Yes, Heather.
Hello,
Yes.
this is Heather. Just really want to make clear that if anyone wants to comment anything on the agenda, this will be the time they do it, they will not be able to talk.
That's understood,
Yes.
yes.
Of the time.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. Ryan. You don't have to wait on you.
I know, I was like, oh, correct, the wrong date on the start. Yep, I'm very White let's see, so the biggest things we had to report on were we had farmers, rural cooperative, we had a bunch of revolving loan fund applications that we either helped in or had a significant role in providing. And so those have all been approved, so that's about $600,000 in reduced financing costs for 4 different businesses in Winters. We are still waiting on over $250,000 CCOG revolving loan fund request for equipment for business in Winterset. We encounter other businesses in the community that are interested in equipment purchases that aren't nailed to the wall because of some labor rules we have to work with. We can still work with them, but the CCOG has quite a bit of money that needs to get out the door. Fiber expansion continues, is all on track. The Southwest project is in the green. The 2 other projects are in the north and northeast are online. In Earlham, we've been working a little bit. We got an article for the paper looking at changes in abatement laws because they were looking at doing a school expansion project, and they have a new housing and they have an abatement policy with 5 years, 100% in place. And so there was concern if the school does some expansion that would be affecting school revenue, but because of a change in law as of July 1, that is no longer the case. The school's portion is not abated by city abatement. So there's an article for the paper that needs to go out to them. And then we have had some success cultivating a potential industrial site in Earlham, so we'll continue to push that forward. And the condo project with the Moynihan Housing, we didn't think that was still in limbo on that. So that's kind of where stuff's at.
All right.
Thanks.
Hey, got any questions?
I do not.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, moving on, our next item is the second reading of the solar ordinance. Basically, it's a moratorium until some more corrections can be made to that. Is that correct, Ryan? That being said, can I have a motion to approve the second reading of the solar ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Diane. Is there a second? Heather, you gonna second that?
Oh, you didn't hear me? Yes, I will second that.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I didn't hear you earlier. I heard kind of a muffling of papers or something, but, all right, we have a motion in a second.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Okay. Any opposed, no? No? Motion carries.
So Phil is a no.
All right, moving on. We have a resolution for part-time EMT. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane. Is there a second?
Yes, I will second.
Second by Heather. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, I will, yes.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a home health resolution approving Eldon McFarland as a part-time homemaker aide effective August 13th. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second?
Yes, I will second.
I have a second from Heather. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Any,
yes,
any opposed? Motion carries. Next is Sheriff Office Resolution approving a pay adjustment for S. Walker effective July 1. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second?
yes, I will second.
Second by Heather, any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Yes.
Yes? Sorry.
It's all right.
I've been
You can
doing
hear
this
me.
too
Yeah.
long.
Yes,
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next three resolutions are approving temporary road closures for secondary roads. I would like to consider those together if there's no objections to that.
Aren't they all done, except for Earlham then?
170th is not done.
Okay, but the rest are
The
done?
rest are complete.
Okay.
All right.
Now, you do it
Okay.
together.
Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second? Okay, second by Heather. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes?
yes,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we have some treasurer office resolutions. The first one is approving A. Floodden as a full-time summer employee effective July 17th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Diane. Is there a second?
yes,
Second from Heather.
yes, I will second.
Any further discussion?
Yes. This is in July. Why wasn't this before us in July?
I can't answer that.
But I can.
Okay.
That is because I was under the impression that I could have them start before you officially approved it. I mean, the budget has already been approved. I have hiring and firing authority. I have discussed with Ann, and I don't know if this is something we might need to look at, but I feel that you guys approving these positions after, or the people that are hired in the office is more of like a formality than anything, because you've already approved my budget for these positions.
Okay. Any other discussion?
If I may ask, this is Heather, if I may ask a clarifying question. So are you saying that we should not hold up the pay, the wages of people for contingent on a resolution approval?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Because my budget has already been approved by you guys prior for these positions.
No, that's
And I
not the,
already have that.
that's not the way that we've operated.
No.
I checked in with Kelly on Monday of last week to see if the resolutions were prepared so we could have a special meeting. They were not, so we're doing it at this time.
Yeah, no, they were, and I have the emails to prove it.
Okay,
Right,
that's
that's
enough
enough.
discussion.
That's
Let's
enough.
let's proceed to vote.
Yes.
Mhm.
All those in favor
Well,
indicate
no,
by
the
saying
problem
yes.
is,
Yes.
All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next one is approving A. Porter full-time first auto deputy effective July 8th. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second?
yes, I will second.
Second by Heather, any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Yes?
Yes, I approve.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is a resolution approving A. Stanton as a part-time clerk, $20 an hour effective July 29th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane.
Yes,
Okay, we'll give you that as a second then, Heather, because Diane just approved it.
that's second.
Okay, any discussion? I have one question. Is there a cap on the number of hours? Because typically we cap those at 26 or 28, so we don't get over the 30-hour minimum.
Is it capped? No?
Well, she said.
I believe it's capped in the budget, but I don't remember how many hours it's capped at.
No.
I thought that we only.
Yeah, I mean,
Like 28.
I've read that, I
Usually
mean,
it's
I talked to
28.
Kelly about that.
Okay, we do want to cap that
Yeah,
at 20, 28. Can,
Yeah, that's, I have discussed that with Kelly, she said that that's what it would need to be at.
okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Because I'm not in town, Diane.
Okay, thank you.
If there's no other discussion, all in
Yeah.
favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes, I approve.
Okay, aye as well. Any opposed?
I,
Okay, Diane approved, and there's no opposition. All right, got it. Next one is approving Kay Halverson as the full-time universal deputy at $24.50 an hour effective July 29th. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second?
Yes, I approve.
Approve, a second?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll move on. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
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 Yes, I approve.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, very good. Moving on to applications. We have an application for the use of Madison County Courthouse grounds for the Madison County Bible reading from August 19th to August 23rd, unless it gets done quicker than that. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane. Is there a second?
Yes, I will second
A
that.
second by Heather. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yes?
Yes, I approve.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a motion approving an application for fireworks display permit for James Kaczynski for Saturday, September 7th. And I believe the rain date was the 21st or something. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Diane. Is there a second?
Yes, I will second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I approve.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to board member reports. I'll let you guys go first. Anything to report on, Diane?
Go ahead, Heather.
Okay, so first, I apologize for not being there and you guys suffering through the few second delay for me voting, so, because of the bridge. But here we go. So I had a workforce board meeting, Iowa workforce board meeting. I had the assessor board meeting. I met with a few vendors since our last meeting on various different topics. I also joined the tour of the courthouse that we gave to a group of Japanese students. They are pen pals with seventh graders at the Winterset School. It's a friendship group with Winterset, and there's 6 students from courthouse along with their chaperones, and they got a tour of various different areas also in the county. And then 6 of our students will be going to Japan next year and do the same thing. So these Japanese students were from the Minami Alps. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, so I apologize. But they were very inquisitive, and it was really neat to see them look interested, and they were excited and asked questions. It was a very interesting time. I learned some things too. Brenda Hollingworth was very kind to give the tour, and it was just a good time. So I'm glad that Winterset and our beautiful county is on display in Japan. So that was my report.
That's a neat program. They've been doing that for Years and years and years, like over 20 years. Excellent.
I think it's been like, yeah, they told me it was like they've been doing it for 30 years.
Very well,
They even had, yeah. For those that are interested, the Winterset City Hall has a couple cases dedicated to items that Japanese students have sent to us from Japan. It's some really cool stuff, so I encourage folks to go look at that. It was not something I expected to see. It was really neat.
It's kind of a sister city arrangement of some sort. Anyway, all right, Diane.
I attended the household toxic waste day with Mike. It was a really, really hot day. We had 48 drops, and it's the most, I think, stuff we've ever had. A lot of toxic waste, which we did take all of it. I'm working with Steve Pearson and the attorneys. There is a gentleman who would like to give us the county 1,000 acres, and so we're working to try to finalize this and make it work for us. So we've been working on that. I attended CCOG. CCOG, as Ryan reported, has a lot of revolving loan funding, about 1.5 million that they need to get out the door. I attended here when they put the clock faces in, and that's completed. So it looks really great. So that's what.
All right, very good. Biggest thing I have is regarding the behavioral health service system districts, and they kind of gave some preliminary ideas on what that looked like. It looked like we were going to get lumped in with Dallas, Polk, Jasper, Marion, and Warren County in a smaller district, and it looked like much of the existing CICS district would remain intact, minus a handful of us. And there was some discussion on that, and anyway, the new districts were released right at the end of July, and it's completely different than any revisions or proposals that were ever out there. So now we are part of, I believe it's a 14 county region. Polk is still in there, but hopefully that dilutes Polk's influence a little bit. From a number standpoint, that region has over 900,000 people in it. Polk amounts to 500 and some, while the rest of us collectively are over 400. So Polk is still the big fish in that pond, but hopefully the rest of us can kind of balance it out a little bit. And the needs of the more rural counties are certainly different than the needs of Polk County. So I found that interesting. There is an Eastern Iowa district, which includes Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Johnson County. That's the largest county by far. There's over 1 million people in that one. The other districts, I believe, are 400,000 or less. They're much smaller. So that's interesting. By the end of September, the state will issue an RFP for the entities that want to, I can't remember the exact terminology, but in essence, the new districts. We had an emergency meeting at CICS last week just to discuss it. No action, just informational. But I think CICS, depending on what the RFP looks like, may have some interest in putting in an application for 3 of the 4 districts that they're now in, because they have staffing in them. That may change, or it may be a collaboration. You know, with Polk being the biggest county in our Madison County's district, they may have some interest in that, although they may not be able to address the needs of the rural counties so much. So maybe there'll be a joint application with Polk, or yet to remains to be seen on that. But it'll be an active few months on that to see how that all plays out. So it caught lots of us by surprise. That was the biggest thing I had going on. Dave, you have something to say about the districts?
No, yeah, this one, on all of yours, the district you're in is really considerably still smaller, all the populations, but.
I mean, the current CICS district?
Well, the way this is.
Well, other than Polk, it's actually one of the larger, CICS is one
Well,
of the
I mean,
larger.
population-wise, you still quite a bit, but.
All right. Any old business?
Bill,
Yes.
just a quick question on that. Do you get any indication from CICS if they feel they'll be able to offer the same level of services they do now for Madison, or are they not?
I don't think anyone has any idea what this RFP is gonna look like. And the next thing is I don't think anyone knows what the representation is gonna look like, because, you know, historically, mental health was funded at the county level, and up until 11 years ago, it was funded and wholly operated at the county level. Then the state formed these regions 11 years ago. So I got in on this about a year into that regionalization process. But now the funding's coming from the state level, and they've already changed the makeup of that board somewhat, so that providers are sitting on the boards and whatnot. And it's not, there are some counties that have supervisors on the board, but not every one of them by far, and they can completely do away with that. There may be no local representation on it. I mean, before it was that way because that's where the funding came from. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot to come into play on that one, and before it gets all worked out.
Phil, what's their thoughts that we have so much mental health crisis in this country, and it seems like they're getting less and less help, and they end up in our jails. So what's their thoughts on this?
Some of this is combining things, because before, now with behavioral health, substance abuse falls into that. Before, substance abuse wasn't part of the mental health.
It was separate.
It was separate. So now they're bringing those two together. The other thing that's gonna happen another year down the road is the area agencies for aging are gonna get kind of merged into these. So you're not only gonna have mental health, you'll have substance abuse and aging all basically under the same umbrella. So it makes sense in some regards. I don't know. So stay tuned. Lots of things in the air on that one. Any new business? Okay, 24 priorities, courthouse project. Lots of activities with the clock.
Clocks are in. I called Mitch again this morning to get the south door done so it functions because people are needing it. The latch is on the window to get that done, and Rick is coming over because probably I lost my temper last week. So they're putting fixing the, I can't say it, up high, the mobile dentals, and they fabricate it, and then Rick checks it, and then they paint it, and Rick is going up there and they're approving it, so it's nearly done. James said he couldn't paint yesterday, they made him stop because it was just too wet. So, Rick made him stop, but I think today he didn't know, he said it was pretty wet still.
I did get that buttoned up.
Yep, getting really close.
Heather, you have anything more on comp plan? I'm sorry, go ahead.
What?
So Diane, regarding the courthouse, are we gonna have a meeting then once they say they're done? Or what's the next step after that? Did they give us a time frame? Anything, any indication?
I'd like to have one last meeting. Rick they're so close to the demo work being done. I want the doors done and the latch fixed that don't line up. And then, yeah, we can have a meeting.
September?
Because my concern is that we were told, so regarding the latches, because that was something that I discovered, we were told that they went around all those windows and double checked them and everything was fine. So I'm a little frustrated that, now we're, almost at 3 years and now I'm discovering that the latches don't line up.
My guess on those latches is that they got
windows.
unlatched at some point, and then the top sash comes down, and it's virtually impossible to raise that top sash from the ground.
Oh, so you think it's not?
I think that top sash just needs to get pushed up, but you can't do that from standing on the ground.
No, you would have to get a ladder and push that up. Yeah, I bet that's right.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
I haven't been on a ladder to prove that, but I'm almost certain it is.
I can probably get a ladder. Yeah.
All right.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that, I know that originally the thought was that we didn't want to put, sash poles on there because we didn't want people opening those windows. But the issue is that people are opening those windows. And my concern is that they're basically pushing up against the glass and against the divided light, the little wood cross pieces, in order to push up that window because there's no hole to pull it up. And eventually, that's going to damage the window and potentially break the divided light wood pieces on that window. So I would like the board to consider to go ahead and just put sash poles on there. So if someone decides to open the window they can open the window, or we're not risking damaging the window because they're pushing up against the glass to do it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that as they investigate the last process, I guess.
I'll talk to Mitch about that, see what it
Okay.
would cost.
Heather, do you have anything on the comp plan revision?
Yeah. No, the zoning board meets Thursday to go over, what their, any kind of changes or recommendations or whatever. I don't know if that's gonna be the final meeting, or they're gonna feel they have to do another meeting. I reread it again, and based on some of the public input, and I sent them, some updates that I thought they should consider, because based on the public feedback, whether or not they include that in the report, I don't know. But we're kind of at a standstill until they do a recommendation report. I don't know if we have to wait for that before we set a public hearing date, or we can set a public hearing date before we get the report, but there's a limitation on when there's a time frame limitation. I think, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, it can't be any sooner than 20 days.
It's
So
not
I'm
less
thinking
than
we
less
have
than
to
10.
see what they come.
I would like to hear Ryan report after the meeting, so in 2 weeks, Ryan, if you can report on that.
I wanna go through it after Ryan's done, I wanna read that really well through again.
Well, that'll be some proposed changes to the
Yeah,
draft
yeah,
at that
yeah.
point.
Planning and zoning meets Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read it.
Okay, well, in 2 weeks, I'd like to hear that report, and then at that time, I think we can schedule a hearing, hopefully. Anything else on that,
Okay, so
Heather?
that's where we, no, that's where we stand right now.
Okay. Anything on ordinance review?
No.
Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So,
I have a question, sorry to interrupt.
That's not on the
Can't
agenda,
talk.
Kyla, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Motion by Diane, is there a second? Second by Heather. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thanks, everybody.